Stop. Whoa, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait, Mr. Postman.
He's Mr. Postman, look and see.
Oh, yeah.
If there's a letter in the bag for me.
Please, Mr. Postman.
Why's it taking such a long time
Oh,
for me to
yeah.
hear from that boy of mine?
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my Love Mum podcast, episode 3. If you're new here and you haven't listened to 1 and 2, do go back and have a listen because it sets up the journey and the reason behind this Love Mum podcast, which in short is the true story of hundreds of handwritten letters between Mum and myself when I lived in Vancouver, Canada in the 1990s. So, without further ado, let's get on with the letters. And I'll start once again by reading Mum's letter. And it begins on Monday, the 19th of February, 1990. Darling Joanne, dearest Vince, still feeling terribly lost knowing that you're not around. But Dad said I'm coping very well. It was lovely to hear from you on Sunday. You seem so close. We are all so pleased that you seem to be getting things sorted out very quickly. Looking forward to receiving your letter so we can read all of your news in detail. Nan had a few tears when we spoke to you on Sunday, but she thought it was wonderful knowing that you were so far away. I think there's a compliment in there somewhere. As we told you on Sunday, James has tonsillitis. He's feeling a bit better now, but he has me running up and down the stairs. Dad said I'm stupid, but you know me. By the way, all the mistakes are Dad's fault. She's crossed out a couple of times, so she's blaming my dad, bless him. Saturday night we watched Cocoon, The Return. Did you get around to watching it before you went? If you haven't, do try to see it. It's so good. I remember those Cocoon films. They were really cute, actually. I wouldn't mind a rewatch. Pat came into work today with a very bad hand. In brackets, no, she had not hit Mick, tell Vince. Mick is Pat's husband. Not yet, anyway. She tried to stop a dog fight and she got the worst of it. It looks so bad. She should not have come into work. She had to go to hospital with it. I expect she will tell you all about it in her letter. I'll have to look for that letter. I do remember Pat writing to me. She was a lovely lady. Tuesday, the 20th of February. Wonderful, your letter arrived. Such a lot of news. Your flight sounded very impressive, especially the food. Would love to have seen Smokey's face when he saw you both at the other end. You said you had lunch in Deep Cove and said, did we remember you telling us about it? Well, we've forgotten, so can you tell us again in your next letter? It sounds as if they're looking after you well. We can just picture Vince's face every time he goes to the fridge with all that food in it. It sounds so pretty with all the snow. I wish we could see it. Would love to see them ice skating around the fountains as well. Still, perhaps we can have a go next year. The basement that you're going to look at sounds nice, and you'll have to describe it to us in detail when you write. Has it got a garden for Smokey and a tree? Hope you both enjoyed your Valentine's Day dinner. Tell me where you went. It's very mild here. The daffodils are all out. And the forsythia is breaking out in flower. The lawns want mowing and the bees are out in force, bringing back lots of pollen. But it's all wrong, it should be cold and snowing. James is getting a lot better now. He started shouting again. Back to normal. Wednesday 21st. At last Mick has finished the car park at work. This is the husband of Pat, who works with Mum at the dentist, her good friend. I might park in it tomorrow, ? I don't want old Faceache to think he's doing me any favours. This is Mum's boss at the dentist. You'll find out why she calls him old Faceache. Remember me telling you about a Mr. Carter, the American gentleman who rang about the house? Well, he rang again tonight. He wants us to send details to his hotel in Paddington. He works for a firm in America who are buying houses in and around the London area, so you never know. We'll let you know what happens. I don't remember about him actually, but this is Mum and Dad. They're trying to sell their house to move to Yorkshire. Watched Dallas tonight. It was quite good. Bobby and April are going to get married. Cliff has done the dirty on JR and Bobby and got them into financial trouble. And JR's new son James is working for JR. I think he's up to something, and poor old John Ross is very jealous of his new big brother. Who watched Dallas back in the day? I was quite a big fan at the time, and of course the big storyline, wasn't it, somewhere in the middle, was who shot J.R. Ewing, and we had to wait a whole season, which was quite a long time then before a new series came on. Anyway, where are we? Thursday 22nd. Went up to see Dean and had a lovely visit. On the way home from Dean's, I saw a really bad accident across Hayes Common. If I'd been a minute earlier, I could have been involved. There was so much devastation. It looked like a plane had crashed, made my legs go all jelly-like. It's horrible to see something like that, isn't it? Especially if you're just so close behind it. And you just hope and pray that everybody's okay. Friday. What a beautiful day it is today. Walking around with no coats on. Stupid weather. Even turned the fires off at work. Have given in and parked in the new car park at work. And I showed off, letting them all see how well I could manoeuvre our car in a small space with 3 cars already parked in there. Angie takes up 2 spaces. Went to a bee meeting Friday night in Dartford. All about what plants attract the bees in Jordan's Wood. We had colour slates and it was very good. Mum and Dad were keeping bees at the time. It was a dream of my mum's to keep bees. She didn't like honey, weirdly enough. They had a hive in their garden, and I can't remember at this point whether they still had a hive in the garden or whether they had moved it to the orchard where my granddad used to work. But we'll find out as we go along. By the way, it was so warm today. Tommy Tortoise came out. Hope it doesn't harm him if it turns really cold again and he re-hibernates. As you know, he does not come out until April. Stupid weather again. Tommy Tortoise is still alive and kicking and still in my dad's garden, bless him. A sweet little thing. Saturday, and Dad gets to write right now. Oh God, it's Saturday again. Got to go shopping with Mum. Somebody we know has got a birthday in March. That's me. So we had to sort out a pressie for her. So it was let's look in this shop, then this one. You know what I mean, round and round, till we come back to the first shop. Still, we sorted out a pressie in the end, so we hope you will like it, as we both agreed it was something pretty for a pretty girl. But from what you tell us about the snow, perhaps we should have bought you some woolly knickers and a string vest. Oh, so funny. Got let down again Saturday night in waiting for this bloke to view the house, but as usual didn't bloody turn up. Been all the same if we had wanted to go out. Lovely to speak to you Saturday night, but the time goes so quickly, don't really have time to say much. Still, at least we can put it down in writing in much more detail. Oh, bless Dad. And then back to Mum. It's me again. I had a nice letter from Cynthia. Cynthia is my mother-in-law. She also sent me the tea cosy patterns, so I will be turning them out by the dozen, ready for when we move. She said she was very choked when you both left on the Friday morning, and said how she misses Vince not popping in and saying, "Hello, Mum." I know what she means. Anyway, I'm going to go and see her in the week, and we can have a good old chat. Vince's mum, she used to knit these, well, she did a lot of knitting. She was a fabulous knitter. And, could knit so fast and so perfectly while she was chatting or watching the TV. She wasn't even looking at her stitches, but everything turned out beautifully. But she used to make these tea cozies for everyone in the family. We all had them. And she'd say, "What colour do you want?" And, we'd give her a theme for the summer or winter or to go with the kitchen or whatever we needed. And she just did it. They were great. Anyway, where was I? I've got some photos for her from when we went out to dinner. I keep looking at them even though they are sad. Now that's something I forgot to talk about actually in the first podcast. That a few days before, I think it was anyway, we left for Canada, we all went out for a lovely sort of farewell dinner with my immediate family and Vince's immediate family at the Bull and Victoria pub and hotel, I guess, in Dartford. And having lived in Dartford for all those years, I'd never been. But I remember it was a lovely meal, and Mum had arranged for them to make us a cake with a maple leaf on the top, which we had for dessert. And the night was full of tears, full of laughter, and it was really lovely. Mum and Dad gave us a $1 bill for good luck, which we I think had on the fridge out there, have meant to frame all these years, still haven't framed it, but it still sits on the fridge with a magnet. And they don't have $1 bills anymore, it's coins, same as here I guess. $1 coin called a loonie, I think that's right. Okay, so the letter ends. Miss you both lots more than you can imagine. Please take care. Love you both very much. Love, Mum. And Dad signed it too. With lots of kisses from both of them. And P.S. letter from James on the way. P.S.S. big kiss for Smokey. And so on we go with my letter now to Mum and Dad. To my wonderful Mum and Dad, I got your letter on Tuesday. God, I was so excited. Mr. Wallstone said, there's a letter here for the Andersons in a pink envelope. Who wants it? And I bounded out of the bedroom saying, me, me, me. It was so wonderful to read it. It made me sad and happy all at once. You've written it in such a nice chatty way that I could just imagine you saying the words. I'm glad you liked my little note. I wanted to do something special that you could keep, and I thought that was better than a present. I'm looking forward to getting James's letter too. I've got some photos back, and I'm sending you a couple with this letter. I've still got my last film to develop, so I'll send you the snow pictures next time. My photo of Dean, James and I came out a bit blurred, so if yours came out okay, will you please send me a copy? I've got a lovely photo of you both, and you're both smiling, so I'm going to frame it so I can look at you often. I'm glad you're both okay. When I speak to you on the phone and you sound fine, it makes me feel a bit braver, and it makes me so happy to hear you so close to me. I'm sending you a letter I've received from Pearl Assurance. Now this is all a bit boring, so I'm going to skip. I'm just asking my dad to help me sort a few things out. And I go on to say, Smokey is doing really well. He's eating like a hog. Luckily, we can get Whiskers out here. And they also do Whiskers cat biscuits, which I don't think they do in England. They obviously do now, but at the time, there were a lot more different things in Canada than there were in England. When he wants to go out, we put him out the basement window and he trots around for a little while and then jumps back in. Mrs. Wallstone is really becoming attached to him and calls him Smoke Meat. Given him a big kiss from you and he said to give you one back. And P, please also give Sam a kiss and hug from me. That was Mum and Dad's cat. Soppy, aren't we? Crazy people. Well, I'll go back a few days now and tell you what's been happening. Tuesday 13th. Went to look at the basement of a house that friends of the Wallstones are renting out. They have a very large and lovely house and a beautiful big open fire that you would love. Vince thinks that the basement has an open fire as well, but I can't actually remember. I hope so. Anyway, we've decided to take it. It's very nice, bigger than our bungalow, and is only $700 a month, including heat and everything. That's about £350. It's also convenient for Smokey. It's self-contained. We have our own front door and we'll share the laundry room. They have also only just redecorated it, so it really is a real bargain. We're moving in on the 1st of March. So I'll send you the new address and phone number before then. Sheila and Patrick, the people who own the house, are very nice and apparently they really took to us. They're Irish and moved out here in 1968. I did speak about them actually in the first podcast when I was kind of setting up the story. It's nice talking to them because they've been through exactly the same situation as us. Wednesday the 14th. Took a bus to the local post office, Maplewood Stores, to post your first letter off. Went to explore Save-On, the big supermarket near here. I'm sure people must think we're mad. This supermarket is gigantic and it sells such unusual things. Lots of stuff is sold loosely so you can mix stuff together. There's loads of different biscuits, cookies, fruit juices where you just take back your empty bottles and refill them, and frozen goods where you help yourself to as much or as little as you want. It has to be seen to be believed. It's still actually amazing. We went in a Save-On when we went on holiday last September in 2025, and yeah, it's still probably because it's different again, but yeah, you still think, oh my goodness, I want to buy that and I want to buy this. We had booked a restaurant to go out for Valentine's night, but it snowed so heavily that we had to stay in and have hamburgers. That wasn't too bad though. I was in a good mood because you had called and made me happy. It sounds as though you had a lovely Valentine's Day, especially having lunch in Rye. Watched a film on TV, The Prince's Bride. That was very funny. Thursday 15th. We were snowbound, so couldn't do a whole lot. Went for a short walk and took some photos. Everything looked absolutely lovely. But the snow was about 2 feet deep, so it was hard going. Vince helped Mr. Wallstone to shovel the driveway a few times. Yeah, it was a few times as well. But the snow was coming down so thick and fast that it just kept covering over again. In the evening, a friend of the family's came over to dinner with her son. Everybody we've met so far is so friendly. I really wish you could see the snow. By the way, I'm so pleased that Briardine is still free. This is the house that Mum and Dad want to buy in Yorkshire. I bet the snow up there looks really lovely too. Friday 16th. Went swimming with a friend. The snow's stopped, the sun is out and the sky is blue and everything looks pretty in a different sort of way today. The pool is walking distance and is fairly small but nice. You can also use the hot tub and sauna for the same price. So we had our first sauna and jacuzzi today. Well, Vince has had a sauna before, but I hadn't. The hot tub is lovely, although you can't stay in for more than 10 minutes because it makes you feel dizzy. But the sauna was too much for me, so I came out to have a cold shower and it nearly took my breath away. This evening we went to Ray and Debbie's for dinner. Ray and Debbie are the English couple that were the people we visited when we went for a holiday to see how they liked it out there. The daughter of Ron, who Vince used to work with. Ray came to pick us up and we drove across the Lionsgate Bridge, which got me really excited. The view of the city at night from there is just incredible. I'd go as far as to say breathtaking. On the way home, we saw another wonderful sight. Because we were driving towards the mountains, we could see 3 of the smaller ski runs, which were all lit up. From left to right, we could see Cypress Mountain, Grouse Mountain, and then Seymour Mountain. It looked so weird because you couldn't see the mountains, only the ski run lights, so it looked like star formations in the black sky. It's so hard to describe things properly, and I keep thinking, oh, I wish Mum and Dad could see this too. I'm sure James would have found that fascinating as well. Saturday the 17th. Went to BC Home Show at BC Place. That's the large white dome building. You might remember it from our photos of when we went on holiday. It's like our Ideal Home exhibition, but on a smaller basis. One of the few things here that are smaller. I bought this wonderful steam iron that you can use while your clothes are hanging up or laying down. It gets creases out just by running the iron up and down very gently. It's apparently what all dry cleaners use. It also will never scorch your clothes. Hopefully this could be the answer to all of my ironing problems. Vince is certainly hoping so anyway. Haha. Yeah, I've got to tell you I didn't use that much either, but yeah. I don't like ironing. Don't tell anyone. Got the sea bus back to Lonsdale Quay, and while we were waiting for it to turn up, we watched this busker who made everybody join in the singing, and everybody does, including Vince. I've got to get used to it yet, but it does create a good, friendly atmosphere, rather than everyone standing around with long faces. It was really funny. I had dinner at an Italian restaurant called Cafe Roma, which looked out across the water at a view of the city, which was lovely. The meal was really nice, and as usual over here, really cheap. Sunday the 18th. The Wallstones have a word processor, and they allowed me to type up my CV. I've applied for 2 jobs, one at a local film studio and one at a local TV station. So we'll see what happens. Went for a walk on the sea wall in West Vancouver with the Wallstones. Had lunch at Capers, a health food cafe. When I got back, Wendy called me. It was a really nice surprise, as I had forgotten she said she'd call me this Sunday. Bless her heart. Wendy was the daughter of Mum and Dad's neighbour, who had moved out to America with her American husband, and they live in California. Yeah, she'd only just got in from the airport, and she said anytime I feel homesick and want to go and see her, she'll send me a ticket. How sweet is that? Oh my goodness. In the evening, we went with some friends to see a film called Born on the 4th of July. Tom Cruise is in it, and it's a really good film. It's about the Vietnam War, but it's more to do with how it ruined this man's life. It's a true story. Monday 19th went into Burnaby, another nearby town, to apply for Vince's trade certificate. We had to walk for miles to find this place, so we were really tired later on. Got the SkyTrain from there to Vancouver. There's a beautiful view of the mountains as you go along. Nothing else much to report today. Tuesday the 20th. Vince went off to see the union to sort out when he can take his exam to get his certificate. He's taking it this Thursday. I went to see Mark Norman at Periscope Productions. He's someone that my boss in England asked to help me find a job. For anyone who doesn't know, well, you wouldn't know this. I worked in the music business in England, which was, it was very cool, very hectic, but amazing to be in that industry. I'll talk about more about that another time, perhaps. So Mark Norman's office is at the bottom of a very treacherous hill, which was extremely slippery from the leftover snow. I remember this well. I managed to make it without landing on my bum. Mark is a really nice man. He's going to help me all he can and has given me some more numbers to call. I took your letter with me today and read it on the bus, again having lunch, and over again since then. Just a little story about on that steep hill when I can remember standing in the middle of this road. Obviously no cars going up and down because it was really steep. I had silly little suede boots on with slippery soles on them. And I remember standing in the middle of this road just thinking I can't move because I'm going to fall over. And I must have stood there for 5 minutes or more, kind of laughing to myself. If anybody was watching me, they would have been really amused. But I finally did get up the courage to move and, as I say, managed to not fall on my backside. So, yeah, but I do remember that. Wednesday 21st, did nothing much, took bus to the post office and walked back. I cooked a chicken casserole for everyone and I think they were impressed. Thursday the 22nd, Vince got up early to go and take his exam. He said it was quite difficult. It was a 3-hour, 100-question multiple-choice paper. We should find out quite soon how he got on. Stayed in today, so took the time to write your letter. I like telling you everything in detail. I'm enclosing a small card about English scones, which might interest you. They served us scones, clotted cream and jam on the plane, and this card was with it. I meant to send it last time. I'm also sending you a Vancouver visitor's guide. I've dog-eared some pages and marked where we are. I'll also send one to Pat because she wanted a map, and this is the nearest I could find. You're getting a big package this time. I miss you still and love you both very much, but I think of you all the time. Can't wait to speak to you at the weekend and to get your next letter. Lots of love and kisses from both of us, Joanne and Vince. P.S. Dad, glad you liked the Valentine's card. Where's mine? So until next time, once again, I'm Jo. I really hope you've enjoyed episode 3 of the Love Mum podcast. Take care, everybody. Sending you lots of love. Until next time, bye for now.